Hey YouTube viewers, this is Donnie Smith and welcome to another episode on the Acura project. Now on this project, on this fender, we've done the bodywork, prime, block, and now we've got it ready for paint. And so we're going to paint this fender and we're going to paint it off the car. Now years ago, back whenever I was in the body shop and did a lot of painting, the way we did everything, when a new part came in, the paint guy would edge it, basically just paint the jambs, insides, and, whatever needs to be painted. And then the body guy, go to his side, he'd install the fender, hood, or whatever it is. And then it'd come over to the paint side and we'd paint it. Well, the trend's kind of changing, and I'm going to tell you why. More parts are being painted off the car at shops. And I think a big part of that is for, production. If you think about it, if you have a car that's being worked on by the body shop and new parts come in, they're not ready for these parts, but you have an opening in the booth, we'll bring those parts in, paint them, and then give them to them. And by doing that, you can paint these parts. You can paint both sides at the same time. You don't have to edge and paint the outside separately. And I think another big thing is you get a much cleaner job. I mean, you don't have to mask jams and edges and have any type of paint edges that you could see. There's no hardware new parts, so you don't have to worry about door handles or nuts, bolts, things like that. It's all removed, so you can really get a lot cleaner job. And one last thing that I think had shops thinking a little different, thinking about doing things different like this, is maybe the insurance company wanting cars in and out faster. The cycle time. How long is that car going to be in the shop? How many days or whatever. And by doing this, occupying the booth, getting the parts painted, I think shops have found that they can actually get, more volume, more cars in and out doing it this way. At our last advisory board meeting, I was even surprised to learn that they are trying to paint more and more parts off the car. Even some of your panels that are held on with adhesives and things like that, like roof skins. And when they first mentioned that, I'm like, man, that's kind of risky, getting roof skin, spraying it, and then giving it to the body guy. Are they going to mess it up putting it on or anything like that? And they said, occasionally it'll happen, but it really doesn't happen that often. But one thing that he mentioned to me, one of the guys in the advisory meeting, he said, think about it. I mean, would you rather paint a roof skin on a Suburban, down here where you can get to it? Or you want to be climbing around up there trying to get to it, and you know how high they are and long and big. He says you can do a much better job doing it down here where you can get to it easy. So that made sense to me. And another thing he said, if you paint one part at a time, each part you can make look show quality. Sometimes if you go to painting, multiple parts or complete, it's hard to get, like especially on top of a roof or a hood, it's hard to get just the same quality like you would, if it was one panel at a time. Most of the shops that I talked to on my advisory board, they are using waterborne paint, and that does match better than your solvents. So that's something to consider if it's metallic or tri-coat or something like that. If you're using solvents, you may have a little trouble with it matching. They did mention one thing. It said they said whatever direction the panel faces on the car, like if it's a door, it hangs, or if it's a roof, it's flat, you want to paint it that way. Be sure if it's a door, you have it sideways. If it's a hood, you have it flat or roof, because that will make a difference in how the metallic lays and whether it matches or not. So that may be something for you to keep in mind. So what do you do with the rest of the car that hasn't been painted yet? Maybe you got to blend into a door or something, like we're going to have to in this Acura. We're going to blend into the door and the hood. Well, we'll show you that in an upcoming video. But for this video, we're going to show you how to paint this fender off the car using waterborne paint, and we're going to blend the paint and clear coat the whole fender. Okay, so we got the fender washed in the booth and ready to start spraying it. And the first thing we want to do is clean it with some wax and grease remover, just to make sure all traces of wax and grease is off. Remember, that's important. We go through every step of washing it, several times before we ever get it in the booth, and just to make sure it's clean. That's going to prevent silicones and dirt and other things that you may have. So anyway, I'm just going to go around with some wax and grease remover, and also get your jams good too. Anywhere that you're going to put any tape or anything like that, the tape will stick much better. Now I'm using a waterborne wax and grease remover, and this will get your handprints off and other contaminants that the regular wax and grease remover won't remove. And also got some gloves on now, so make sure that I don't get any handprints on there after this point. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we're just painting this fender, but I want to paint it all at the same time. We're not painting the entire fender, we're just going to paint the primered spots, and then we're going to blend into the center area there. And now on this fender, the jam, we're going to go ahead and respray the jam, and we're just going to paint it all. It is all sanded and prepped and ready to go. Now, if this is a new part, you'd want to paint the jam at the same time as well, and this will eliminate edging apart and then coming back later and paint the outside. Now I've got a tack rag. See how I'm tugging on that tack rag? On the waterborne tack rags, on these ones I use anyway, I don't know if they're all like that, but you have to pull it apart to release the adhesive. It's got a low tack adhesive to get any final dust, lint, things like that off. If you don't pull it off, it's just like using a wipe ball. So make sure that you pull that apart. Now I'm applying some self-etch primer. I've got just a few small bare metal spots. So just to the metal spots, I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to apply that self-etch primer, and then I'm going to allow it to flash. You don't have to sand that, just allow it to flash, and then you're ready to apply your primer sealer. And now I'm putting this, and that just goes on your primered areas, anywhere you're going to paint. And I'm keeping my pressure low and trying not to get a lot of overspray because I am going to blend this fender. Now I'm going to go over here. This is the bigger spot, and I'm going to kind of shoot away like I did when I was using primer surfacer. I'm going to kind of shoot away from the center of the fender, so because if that sealer, if it gets on the painted surface, you're going to have to paint it. I don't have much blending room here, but I did want to go ahead and blend it so I can show you, a blending technique. Now you want to be certain to read your technical data sheet and allow that to flash off. This primer sealer does not have to be sanded either. You allow it to flash, and then you come with your base coat. And trying to get it where you can see. I forget that the camera's there sometimes, and I'll try to get it in angles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around this entire fender. I'm going to spray all the edges first, because you don't want the if you painted the fender first, the outside, then you come back and get the edges, well, the overspray is going to come and land on the fender, and it might kind of land different, especially on metallics. So I always like to do the inside of the jams first, then I'll come back and put a nice even coat on the outside. Okay, now I've got the jams painted on it, and I'm blocking it right there. It's hard to remember to get in a way you can see this sometimes, but I'm just putting a even coat on there, and this is a 75% overlap on waterborne. Solvent's usually 50, but this is 75. So basically what I did, I just painted a little bit past what I sealed. And another thing with this waterborne paint, some booths have these air dryers that are built into the booth. We don't have that. We just have these handheld dryers. But it does take a little extra air movement to dry these parts. And basically we're just using the air that's in the booth, that it's generating, and we're kind of redirecting it. And you can actually see this waterborne as it dries. I mean, it'll evaporate and the gloss just kind of goes away. And the good thing about this is, and this is production shops like this too, there really is not a flash time. I mean, if you see that it dries, you're ready for the next coat. So really you can get through the base coat stages much faster. Now I'm applying a second coat. The bad thing about it is you have to stay in the booth the entire time. You're either painting or you're drying, unless you have a booth that has all that built into it. That would be nice. But it really is a faster process. There, now I've got it where you can see it. So I'm going out a little further with this one. And I had just a couple little spots in the front, so I'm blending those in. And if the spots wasn't in the front, you could just do the back part of this. And I've also, there's a little bit of overspray on the top edge of the fender where I'm edging it. But I'm just going to let all of that blend in. And I know I've had a video before with solvent paints where that I use like a blending clear, and that helps blend it, but they really don't have that for waterborne, but you don't need it. This stuff blends so good. I mean, it is very easy paint to blend. It's much easier than solvent. Now, due to having to have all that air movement, and you have to have really clean environment, it is a little more sensitive to dirt. I really don't think waterborne's an alternative for the DIY, but if you are at a shop, I have really fell in love with this waterborne paint. Haven't had really a lot of problems with it. I know everybody was kind of scared of it when we first started using it, and it is different. It takes some adjusting, but me and a lot of the students and most shops that I talk to that have switched really do like using the waterborne paint. This is PPG's waterborne, the Enviro base, and it's just really cool, of how good these color matches. A lot better than solvents, especially with the metallics. Now I'm applying another coat of base, and you want to apply however many colors it takes to coat that, to cover that primer that's underneath. Some colors it may take 2, some colors it may take 4. It just kind of depends. So you kind of want to keep your eye on those primer edges and make sure that they're covered, that you have full hiding. Wished I'd have thought about camera angle a little ahead of time, and I'd maybe put it to the side where you could see that better. So I got the third coat on, and then again we're going to dry it. You got to dry every coat. If you've rushed these coats, I haven't done it, so I really don't know what'll happen. They just say don't do it. I think it won't dry at all. You trap all that water in there and it just won't dry. Okay, I got that done. Now I'm going to apply a control coat. I turn my pressure down, open my fan pattern all the way open, and do a real fast coat but real tight overlap. Doing about 80-90% overlap, and 18 inches back, 12 to 18 inches back, and moving really fast. And that just helps with the metallic. Helps it lay down right. So I allowed that to flash, and I had to blow dry it as well. Allowed it to flash, and now I'm putting on the first coat of clear coat. And again, I'm going to do my jams insides first, so whenever I get to the outside, I'll have a smooth texture. It doesn't have overspray from the sides coming and landing on top of it. So I'll put a coat of that on, get all the insides done. And remember, the clear coat is still solvent. This is not waterborne. I think in California they have some waterborne clear, but we're still using solvent. So now we fall back to our 50% overlap. And that's where you overlap each pass that you did, 50%, to get the proper mills and the thickness that's recommended by the technical data sheet. So I thought about the camera there and trying to show you a little bit better of putting on the first coat of clear coat. Now this does not air dry, but it does have a flash time. So you have to allow it to flash the recommended time, whatever the technical data sheet says. So I'll allow it to flash, and now I'm putting on the second coat. And really that's all that we're going to put on this is 2 coats. That's what is recommended. Usually you can put 2 or 3. Now if you see that there's a lot of dirt, or you got a run or orange peel, something that's going to take some sanding and buffing, I many times will go ahead and put on 3. If it looks good with 2 coats, I'll leave it at 2. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're going to be doing some sanding, you may want to put that 3rd coat, because you're going to sand some of those mills down, by sanding and buffing. 50% overlap. Notice I'm going over the entire fender. I'm not breaking it up in choppy little parts, like you might would with a rattle can or something like that. And that just helps lay it on there nice and smooth, gives it a good gloss. Okay, now getting the bottom part of this fender. And now we have got this fender painted, so it is ready to dry. and then we can put it on the car. So if you have more ideas, you work at a body shop, what's your preference? Edging parts and putting them on, then painting the whole car at the same time, painting parts off the car? Or if you have some ideas or some reasons that I didn't provide of why it's better to paint parts off the car, be sure and leave a comment. I'm learning every day, and this is something that's kind of changed in the past 5 years, more and more parts being painted off the car. So I'm still learning as well. So anyway, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about this, how you do it, what you prefer. And if you like this video, be sure and give us a thumbs up, give us a like. And thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next video. Area, and you want to tap that down. This is just a regular hammer